Today we're here at the lab pulling up on Bryan and Gallo, Duran, as he gets ready for his next fight December 21st with the best trainer in Miami, Athletic Fitness. Let's go.
We lost before, but never again. Back on our grind, you know what it is. Yeah, this is our year. Knocked us down once, we got up again. Put in the work, so I know we gon' win. This is for real, we never pretend. We gotta win. Just wanna win.
Today on the Miami Hustle, we got Bryan El Gallo Duran. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
Appreciate you, bro.
So everybody knows, back like a year and a half ago, he pulled up to the Miami Hustle. Super grateful for that because we were just getting started. We didn't really know what we were doing. He was 3-0 at the time. Fast forward a year and a half later, he's 6-1 and he got a title shot in the BKFC. Shout out to you on all your success. And again, thank you for being here. We got a fight coming up December 21st. How are you feeling?
Feeling great, bro. I'm fucking amazing. Coming off an injury and a loss, so I'm super hungry. I'm super excited, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go, bro. Now the only goal is making weight. That's the only fight I'm facing right now.
Yeah, so everybody wants to know, like, coming off of that title fight, what happened in the first round?
10 seconds in, I took a little fall, you know. Kai says it was my fault. Like, he didn't do it intentionally, but even if it was my fault, it happened. You know, mine, his fault, it doesn't matter. I fell and my shoulder popped out of place. He was already injured. No excuses. I'm not blaming the situation. I was already injured. I signed the contract knowing that I was injured, but I wanted a big opportunity. You know, coming from nothing where I come from, I had the opportunity, so I wasn't going to turn it down. The biggest paycheck I ever seen in my life, so I definitely took it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, congrats to you for even making it to a title shot. I mean, that's a big deal.
You, bro.
And damn, so you got hurt in the first round and Kai still didn't knock you out. That's pretty
exactly.
crazy.
I gave him his hardest fight to date. And he went and fought a UFC vet and he ran through him. The vet didn't even cut him, you know, and y'all saw Kai's face after I finished with him, you know, and shout out to him. He's a great fighter, bro. I got nothing negative to say. The kid's a great fighter. He taught me a lot in the fight in the sense of, like, you got to take this shit serious. Like I was telling you guys outside, you know, like sometimes the guy that works harder wins even if he's not the best fighter in the night, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So getting your first loss, did that change any perspective on you, like going into this next fight?
Yeah, it definitely did.
Been thinking about it a lot, or?
Yeah, it definitely did. The best part about it was I learned that you got to put God first. That was my biggest mistake I feel like I made that night. It was the only night out of all my fights, even the fight I had at the Mikosuke, that was an exhibition boxing match with fucking pillows, you know. even that night I prayed before I walked out with my team, and that night I was so caught up in the moment. I had so much going on. The production of the BKC had me going crazy. People calling me. There was money missing. There was so much things going on that people don't know, and I've messed up and I didn't do what I always done, that I put God first. And that was probably the biggest lesson I learned that night, that no matter what's going on, God first, because he's the only reason I'm even there. You know, so yeah, bro, it was a great experience, even if it was a loss, because I got to see my whole city outside. I sold out the Hard Rock, made history, and I know when I get that rematch, whenever God puts the opportunity in front of me, I'm gonna be ready for it, and this time the bell's gonna stay here.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to God. We always like to shout out God anytime that we can, because a lot of times we don't really, you know, have the time to stop and thank him for everything that he's given us. But if it wasn't for God, we wouldn't be here right now.
Especially when things are going well, we tend as humans to forget. But then when things are bad, the first thing we do is run to God, you know, and that's something I had to learn that night. You know, I was always the underdog, basically, no matter what, like having to prove something. So I always had God. And the second I became the star, I lacked the most important thing that got me there, which was my praise to the Lord and thanking him before I stepped in that ring. You know, I was gonna thank him after, but I should have thanked him before.
Yeah, like what you said is true. A lot of people go to God when they're lost or when they don't know what to do or when they need help. But, you know, you gotta keep in mind that you gotta give him all the glory, especially when you're high up there and everyone's looking up at you. You gotta thank God and let him know that without him, none of this.
Can never be ashamed of hiding God from the world, no matter what they think, no matter what platform you're on, no matter if it's gonna affect it. God is always gonna find his way to bless you, especially if you're praising him at the highest points of your life, you know?
True. So how are you feeling going into this next fight? What do you know about your opponent?
I know he's tough individuals. You know, that's what I heard. You know, I've seen his fights. He hasn't fought opponents like me on my level yet. You know, so it's his first real tough challenge. I fought the top of the top already in the BKFC in my division. So, you know, I wouldn't call it a stepping stone because I don't overlook anybody. But I'm definitely going in there to get the job done and get the knockouts how I am, because I am 6-1 with 6 knockouts. You know, and my only loss was 5 rounds with the champ, and I gave him the hardest fight of his life with one arm. So coming back off an injury, my shoulder's stronger than ever. I had the first real camp. My legs are stronger than they've ever been. I'm in the best shape ever. Like I said, my only battle right now is losing the weight, and I'm ready to go to war if I have to, but I plan on finishing the night early.
Yes, sir. And shout out to the trainer. You already know Mac. We're in the lab, so shout out to the lab. Shout out to Mac, man. Getting this man right, especially off of injury. I mean,
yes, sir.
Big shout out to Mac, because to get an athlete ready for a fight right off of injury is a big deal. So thankfully you're feeling good. You're ready to go. And I
wanted the same injuries as me. That's what helped us out.
Oh, the same injuries?
So he knew exactly what to
perfect.
Attack.
That's what's up. Yeah, he's one of the best trainers in Miami. Definitely so you're definitely in good hands.
Definitely.
And we're all going to see a knockout December 21st. That's
1,000%.
Like. Gallo's back.
Gallo's back, baby.
And so I want to ask you about Jake Paul and him, you know, calling himself El Gallo. Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to involve people, but there's definitely mutual individuals that know both of us, you know, and obviously he knows who the fuck I am. There's no way you can hide that when I've gone on the biggest platforms. I've gone viral thousands of times, you know, so, you know, there's nothing he can say, oh, I don't know who that guy is, you know, and come on, I'm Cuban. That's like a Hispanic name, you know, and he moves to Puerto Rico to not pay the full-on taxes, and then I don't know where you're El Gallo, like, make it make sense, bro. True. And then out of nowhere, it's like, okay, maybe the name, guys, okay, I got lucky. Ooh, somebody really said that name in front of him, it sounded cool, he got it, he saw me, or maybe didn't see me. All right, I'm delusional at that point, right? But then I did the little video messing around with the little hat. That was an AI video of a little kid. It was an AI video, it was not even real. And I was messing around like, should I do this haircut? And I even reached out to certain people, but they were like, bro, it's impossible, it's AI. There's no way to put a fucking rooster right here and not fall off or what material, you know? So I was like, whatever. They're like, the only way we can do this is like a hat. I'm like, no, I don't want a hat because I can't fight with a hat, you know? So I let it be. 2-3 weeks pass and he goes and puts, you know, the little hat exactly like that into the video, just like the little kid and all that. Like,
nah, yeah, when I saw that was wild, bro. And that's why I wanted to ask you that question, specifically because of his haircut. But what I would say is, bro, if he was to watch this or he was to ever like, get asked about, yo, where'd you come up with a guy or where'd that name come from? Just give credit where credit's due and say from Bryan Duran, the BKFC fighter. At least give the credit and then you can.
He would never do that because his whole life is a facade. Like, realistically speaking, he came off of YouTube, which is, the guy's a genius. One thing you can't take from him, he's smart individual, marketing genius. Definitely is. All his stuff is on point when it comes to marketing, but he's not a creative individual. He's a smart individual, not a creative individual, which usually the creative people don't know nothing about the smart side, which is the business side. And that's what a lot of athletes and musicians that are super talented get fucked over by the smart guys. He's the gangster with the pen, you know? He's the gangster with the pen that puts them claws in all the fights that, come on, bro, first fighter on Netflix for movies. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how big Netflix wants to get. Netflix would have never gotten involved if that shit wasn't something, you know? But whatever, that's not my topic to talk about. My topic is the name, you know? And at the end of the day, Gallos fight for real. Gallos die in that fucking pit, you know? Like when you see Gallo, like roosters fight, they're killing each other and they don't quit. And they're really fighting other top contenders.
Yeah. It's not
they're not going around getting the oldest rooster in the fucking pit.
It's not an act. Yeah.
It's not hacked. And it's not for the views, it's real. And bare knuckle is as real as it gets. That's how I feel. I feel like I am in the most brutal sport in the world. And I am one of the most brutal individuals in the sport. And I am pretty vicious. So I feel like the name is something that I earned through the years also. Because, like you said, everybody in Miami, even before I was Cuban Santana in the music, everybody knew me as a Gallo. And people were like, why? Gallo's Cuban Santana? No, it was that. And now some people are like, okay, shit, Cuban Santana is that Gallo guy. You know, things changed a little bit, but I always been a Gallo.
Yeah.
You know, like I just did the music, so I wasn't gonna be like a Gallo and doing English rap music, you know, but it went with the fighting. I went back to my roots and I said, I'm gonna be myself to the end. I'm not gonna go and call myself something that is not. Bryan Gallo Duran, that's how everybody calls me, you know? So I went along and made that happen, bro, but I am the real El Gallo, bro, and everybody knows it. And yeah, there could be other fighters that could be named El Gallo, like just Mexican fighters back in the days, and they were El Gallo this, El Gallo Negro this and that. There's a bunch of them, right? Gallo Blanco, there's all type, right? But who's really made an impact in combat sports other than Bryan El Gallo Duran? and doing it how I did it, coming from nothing in a brutal sport and, you know, fighting for a world title in 2 years.
Yeah, bro, that's honestly unheard of, bro. Again, we're lucky to have you on the show. We were lucky before, we're lucky now because you truly are a star, and it's only the beginning. I feel like once you get that title shot back, you're going to be back better than ever, healthier than ever. You're going to take that title and you're going to run with it. I don't see anybody really coming up and taking it from you once you have it. 1,000%. So we're just here to document the success, really.
Definitely.
And another question I had for you that I want to ask you is, a lot of people, you know, they went crazy when they saw you say you threw 97 at 16.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Is that real, or were you just trying to...
I mean, bro, think about it, bro. Like, if I was gonna lie about it, then would be so many people in the comments saying, yo, you guys didn't play with him, the guy was throwing gas. There was plenty of people saying it.
So, you're sticking to it. He threw 97 at 16.
I'm sticking to it.
All right,
I'm dying behind that one.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Dying behind that one, yeah. So, yeah, bro, I was a really good baseball player, like I said prior in the other podcast. And, you know, life guided me a different way and made me live a tough life. Like, it was basically 50-50. Like, I chose it, but at the same time, I was really poor. So it wasn't like I was giving everything. I was in the best schools. I could have been playing any sport I wanted and things. I know I was good at baseball. Thank God that I was getting free game time because I didn't have to pay for tournaments and travel ball. You know, I was a good baseball player, so that helped me. But then God had a weird way of, you know, putting my life together and putting me through certain circumstances and obstacles that I had to learn how to bear with, pain that I had to go through physically, emotionally, you know, mentally, all type of things that made me an animal because this is what he had for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a warrior. So he had that guy, like, in line for me, so you know?
Your story is like no other, I would say. All your success within these last 2 years has been pretty crazy to witness. So I want to ask you, what have you learned these last 2 years that like throughout this whole journey that you could share with people listening?
I've learned you got to believe in yourself. The second that you don't believe in yourself, it could be just one negative thought in your head, brother. We all attempt to do it, but you got to master your mind. And that's what being great comes from. You got to master your mind to not even let a negative thought go in your head. You work, but then again, doubts come when you don't work hard enough. Doubts come when you know you could have give a little more and you didn't.
Yeah.
For being scared of like, I feel bad or whatever. I'm saying in my sport, you know, in the gym, when you're tired and you're in that bag or you're in sparring and you're like, and you don't want to throw that last punch, you rather walk away and dodge the punch. No, sometimes you got to push yourself to those limits, and that's when the confidence comes in and that's when the belief comes in, you know, because you believe it, but you got to put in the work. It's not just believing. People think, oh yeah, it's that easy, believe it. No, yeah, it's that easy when you put in the work, because some people put in the work, but it's still doubt. But if you believe and you put in the work, it's impossible to fail, bro. It's a component that goes together. It's a chemical in your brain. I don't know what the fuck it is. Energy that we move, whatever it is. That's how it works. You put in the work, you have confidence. And that's one thing that I learned in these 2 years. You put in the work, you believe in yourself, and things will happen, whatever it is in life.
Yeah, true. What would you say to people that are watching your success and thinking like, oh, I could do that too. I want to become a fighter?
You definitely can. Now, you got to be realistic with yourself. If you don't have a fighting background before and all of that, you can't be 40 years old and think you're gonna start a career in a young man's sport, especially that is violent, and 40 years your body probably took damage working and stuff. That's the only thing I will say respectfully to everybody. Now, there could be certain people that don't know. Look, Tomahawk Tonsil, he started fighting late as hell. The time in prison came out, started fighting late, and he's in the BKSC, has pretty good guys, has fought tough individuals, and anything can happen. He's a guy that motivates me. He's like 45, 46 fighting, so he started late. So anybody can do it, but obviously I feel like age matters a lot too. That's the only thing I will say when it comes to fighting, age matters. But bro, if you believe in yourself and you're in the range of, the years that you can do and you're healthy, you don't do drugs, you don't do none of that, or even if you did it in the past and you want to change your life, I feel like it's how bad you want it, dog. Because if you met me 4, 5, 6 years ago, you would have never believed I would be the individual that's speaking to you right now, or even talking the way I'm speaking, and like the grammar, everything. Like I didn't even know how to speak, bro. Like people,
especially within these last 2 years, like a lot has happened.
A lot has happened. I had to mature a lot. I just had my fourth kid. Third son. I'm always gonna say fourth. I was about to say fourth son.
Congrats.
But yeah, my third son, fourth kid. And yeah, bro, I had to mature through the years. I've learned a lot. And man, like this sport changed my life. The discipline it takes to be at the top of the game, it molds you to learn different things, like the things that we were talking about off camera. I'm not gonna get into detail. We already talked a lot, but There's a lot of things that come with the discipline that teach you outside of the ring how to become a better individual. I feel like that's the goal in life, no matter what you do.
Definitely. And what do you see when you what do you see when you look in the mirror?
I see a really hungry guy that has been through a lot, but nothing broke him ever. So definitely it's never gonna get broken by this. I just build myself from every time that I failed in other people's eyes. And no matter if they cheer me on or they boo me, I'm always gonna better myself and I'm always gonna have that self-belief. And God comes first, man. And as long as God is on my side, which as long as I'm doing what I got to and I'm praising him for everything, he's definitely gonna be on my side at all times. Because even when I wasn't doing that, he was still on my side. So man, it's just, I believe in God, man. That's all it is, man. Full on with him.
You already know.
He got me.
All glory to God.
All glory to God.
Shout out to God, shout out to Gallo, and you already know December 21st, another knockout coming. Yo, thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Till next time.